Exide. Devang Mehta is with us. He is from Spark Private Wealth Management. Devang, good to have you on the show. So let's start with this whole EV theme, right? Because obviously the market, likes to find interesting opportunities in the space. You just heard Sudarshan talking about Exide over there. Give us your view on the stock if you cover it, or any other route through which you will play the EV theme in the market.
Good morning, Surabhi. Thanks for having me on the show. I think happy Gudi Padwa to all of you and all the viewers. Happy New Year
to you too.
Yeah. So I think very clearly the EV theme can be probably rode by two ways. One, via playing Tata Motors, which a lot of people do. It's an obvious play on the India vehicle market, India EV market, where every third car sold is Tata Motors car. Though the majority of the bulk of the revenue, still 85% comes from JLR, but it's one business which you can probably participate directly. But more importantly, when you want to play proxy plays or you want to find out an ancillary play, I think we have been buying this business since last 2-3 years, which is called Hitachi Energy. Again, not suggesting or giving a recommendation, but this is one business which we have sort of bought in our client portfolios, and that has done fabulously well. And it's still going to the EPS for this company is probably going to grow from around 35-40 rupees to in a couple of years around say 150-160 rupees. This is a demerged entity which came out of ABB Power Product, and Hitachi came and acquired it. It's into every field that is for EV infrastructure, or it's into Lumda software, which also sort of differentiates which is the energy, or what the source of energy, and what is the cost of each energy, maybe thermal energy or hydropower, or is it solar power. That also differentiation. It does a lot of important hardware plus software. It's a high tech type of I can say a capital goods plus a high tech type of a company which lays down even infrastructure for EV. So I think this is one interesting play, and there are other ancillary plays as well to play this type of a theme, EV. And even the auto segment has done very well. So auto plus EV, if I can say it's a subset. I think that segment also is doing well, and on the back of discretionary consumption improving.
Okay, so Hitachi NG is one of your preferred picks. Devang, real estate numbers continue to look up. Last year, the real estate index on an average was up more than 100%. This year, the Nifty Realty Index is up 25% already. And look at the way the numbers are. Very, very strong. Beating their own guidance and optimistic expectations from the street. Are you bullish on real estate? Which one do you like?
Yes, I think we have liked this space, real estate as a theme, as we played more through the proxy play of say building materials or home improvement, or cement has been one of our top I can say sector, even infrastructure to be very fair, because a lot of infrastructure is laid out, and then real estate has also started to do very well. The last couple of years, you look at these updates for Godrej, or look at Macrotech, not this time, but Godrej, I think beat its own guidance by a huge margin. Look at Shobha, look at Prestige. Most of these companies have been delivering on numbers. The new home sales have been robust. I also hear about even the old home sales or the resales of flats also happening, and the demand for building materials, be it adhesives, be it ceramics, be it a lot of such home improvement themes, even fast-moving electrical goods. I think all these companies are becoming a good play. This is in India. If you count this, you have to count it as a more a consumption play. You can probably count this in infrastructure when you are into developed nations. But in India, I think this is more a rising aspiration, and people are getting migrated to larger homes. And this is a theme which I think the next 2-3 years also probably a lot of people can and make a lot of money here.
Okay, got that. Devang, we were just discussing Jefferies' note on some of the wealth management stocks. Once again, this morning they released a very positive outlook on Nuvama and some others as well. So this is obviously a space that is very close to you. You operate in the capital market sphere as well. So the opportunity, or I think the entire landscape, there's no taking away from that. My question is more on current valuations after the run-up in stocks, and whether there's still enough left on the table. What would you say, and do you like anything here?
Surabhi, the space is extremely interesting, and as you rightly said, we operate in the similar space, of course, in the wealth management domain. And honestly, if you look at the numbers from a lot of these companies which have come up with reports, these are very realistic, right? So when you talk about growth at 20-25% in terms of AUM growth, and when you count this as a wallet share, when you count it as even a new AUM growth, when you count it as mark to market, as well as expansion into new geographies, I think this is bound to happen. And we know that we are in a wave of financialization where there are more and more billionaires, more and more millionaires being churned out. The per capita consumption, the per capita incomes are about to go up. And I think more and more people are now seeking financialization rather than getting into physical assets. I think this space is going to grow for sure. This brokerages, be it wealth management, be it AMCs. We don't own any business right now in the portfolio over here. Yes, we hold certain exchanges as well as some depositories which are also participated in the rally and will do very well from here. I think this is space which will probably compound at anywhere between 20-25% for the next 3-5 years, if not more.
Today, Devang, BofA came out with a note on Infosys. And they've raised the target price to 1785. It's gone through a long period of underperformance. And it's the best leveraged play for a demand recovery when it comes to IT services. In the IT pack, which one do you like? And would you bet on Infosys?
I think yes, one sector which is sort of been left out is IT and a bit of pharma, I can say, not the entire pharma space. Why? Because yes, naturally there were earnings difficulties for this sector. There were margin pressures for this sector. The guidance was not as great. But I think the economy-facing companies did its own in the last couple of years. I think IT should come back. Probably the guidance seemed to be improving last quarter. Yes, we saw a couple of misses from Accenture where the guidance was sort of lowered. Maybe I think we are very keen to watch this time's body language and the guidance. I think probably the sector seemed to have bottomed out. If US is doing extremely well, if Europe is coming back from a bit of hibernation, I think this sector is one sector which will be dark horse. If somebody wants to make say 15, 18, 20%, I think there are a lot of mid-cap IT companies. But for large cap like Infosys, TCS, anywhere between 10 to 15% is a realistic sort of return. If that is the horizon for the next 2-3 years, that's the return expectation. I think that's very fair to expect it from companies like Infosys and TCS.
Okay, by the way, Devang, on the screen, there's some good news that's flashing when it comes to the weather gods and the monsoon outlook. So the SkyMet outlook is out, the official forecast, and they're forecasting a normal monsoon for the current year. And that's 102% of the long period average. And not just that, they're saying that the El Nino conditions are very quickly changing to La Nina. And we know that La Nina is supposed to be very favorable for monsoon. So perhaps as we get further down the season, perhaps July, August is when the favorable La Nina conditions will kick in. So maybe a bountiful monsoon should be upon us this year. So Devang, I'll make that my last question. Everyone's been talking about the rural recovery. There's elections. And if we get a great monsoon, then how would you look at rural plays? I mean, is that a theme you'd consider? And then again, the top stocks that you will play that via.
Yeah, we've been looking at this theme. In fact, rural recovery can be played via 2-3 themes. One, yes, auto. A lot of these companies like Maruti and companies like Eicher and Hero sell a large part of their products into rural market or the hinterland of India. So this is one interesting sector which also benefit auto companies. Yes, tractors are benefited. There are a lot of agrochemical companies which already are trying to show that sort of a recovery, and some of them are touching life highs. Companies like PI Industries and all went through a phase of hibernation. But again, as you rightly said, El Nino transferring to say La Nina. I think important times for markets, probably April, May, June, we would get to see the stability in terms of political stability, whether we achieve that, the important elections. And in June, July, August, yes, we need to see the progress of monsoon as well. I think so interesting times ahead with earnings season just starting in the next, I think, couple of days. And updates are good as well. So probably, yes, I think agrochemical, auto, tractors are one theme which one can probably keep in the bucket list if monsoon is going to do well.
Okay, all right, Devang, we'll leave it on that note. Thank you very much for joining in today. Good chat, as always. Well, with that, we do have to take a very quick break. We'll come back on the other side and we get you some more Q4 previews. This time, we'll focus on the consumer discretionary space. We'll have Karan Torani of Elara joining in.